Happy Easter Monday, everybody. Welcome to Football Fill-In. Massive news over the weekend. I got my first ever hole-in-one, lads.
Where's the video?
There is no video.
Didn't happen.
It did happen. It did happen. I
We're on
promise
proof.
you. That's my brother, all right? My brother and the old couple that were in the car behind us on the road that saw it. Well, I don't know if they saw it, but they saw us jumping anyway. And then they joined in on the festivities and they were really happy for us. But hole-in-one, 122 yards, 17th hole at the Warwickshire, over water, landed it into the bank, slowly rolled back down. First one ever.
Did you win the game?
No, my brother won by one. I finished eagle, birdie, 17 and 18, and I still lost by a point. It's not the end of the world.
Eagle birdie?
Eagle birdie, yeah.
By the way, I've just had an email from the Spanish government asking if we can bring Watto back because he's drinking all the beer.
Yeah, oh my God, I bet he has put away some beer this week, hasn't
he? Yeah, I did text him over the weekend. How's it going? A few bits? Yeah, oh yeah.
It's Easter though, isn't it? Well, that's what it's for, isn't it?
Watto.
He's on holiday.
Bloody right.
And he'll be back next week.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the football at the weekend, Robbo?
Yeah, bits and pieces of it. It was good. Bit of family time as well, Easter.
Nice,
yeah, really nice.
It's weird as a footballer at Easter because when you're playing, Easter's not really a thing. Like, even Christmas, to an extent, is not really a thing. You don't think about your Good Friday days off or your Easter Sunday, Monday. Like, you're working. Yeah. Normally, you have games as well. There's always a proper fixture over Easter. And as a fan, I've got to say, I'm loving it. I'm loving this Easter kind of like... You got all the EFL fixtures today. You got Burnley, Sheffield United playing tonight, 5:30, massive game. Another Premier League game today. It's good, isn't it?
We're on the grassroots this after, aren't we, Robbo? You're at Stratford. I'm at Leamington.
Yep. Grassroots teams tonight.
I'll be on the grass playing golf this afternoon, lads. Is what I'll be. My son's got the golf
hole-in-one. Can you record it this time?
Mate, no joke, right? No joke. Listen to this, right? I'm not bantering you, lads. Yeah. So Saturday got the hole-in-one. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, Louis, my son, said, "Dad, can we go and play a little bit of golf?" I went, "Yeah, cool." I hit the flag on the full on the 16th at Stratford, my local. I hit the flag on the full. Mate, it's like there's loads coming now. I know it. I broke the back of it. Anyway, let's talk about football. We're getting waylaid, lads. What are we starting with, Tom?
Liverpool.
Go on then.
VVD.
Yeah.
Contract. He signed. It was always Liverpool. Was it always Liverpool? Or was it the big contract?
It wasn't always Liverpool.
Oh, it's always Liverpool. I mean, what a statement. It's a great signing for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
To keep him there. The same with Salah. Now it's just down to Trent with what he wants to do and deciding in that corner.
Right. Do you know when he scores his goal and he goes and celebrates the way that he did by taking his shirt off?
Mad.
He went mad, right? And I'm not sure right now. I'm genuinely not sure. I'm trying to think, right, if that was me in that situation, right, and I'm taking my shirt off and I'm looking at the crowd, it's the way that he looks at the crowd, right? I think we can read into this a little bit.
But will he be influenced? My question to you guys is it purely a commercial thing? Or will he go, well, Mo and VVD have signed and they're two of the best players in the world?
I think that comes into it, lads.
Do you really think
I think it has to come into it. I think when you score a goal and you run to that crowd and you see that love and adoration, right? And you're a Liverpool legend. As it stands, you're a Liverpool legend. They love you, right? If you went and signed a new deal today, tomorrow, you are, honestly, you're in the history books of that club forever.
Well, if he left, is he a legend?
No.
So he's only a legend if he stays?
Yes.
But what he's done and what he's accomplished, he wouldn't leave a legend?
No.
Why?
Because of the way that he's left.
Wait, with that, how has he left?
He's left.
Has he gone on strike?
No.
Has he kicked off?
No.
Has he been committed?
He's left when he could have done this a couple of years ago. He could have left and got the club 70, 80 million quid, and fans will see it as an insult to them and to the football club, not getting what they could have got for him, and then going off to Real Madrid to join his mate Jude. That's how they will see it. I promise you they will.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because look at KDB, who's come out and gone, well, the club haven't offered me a deal.
Hey,
and that's just... Because when it suits the club, you're gone. You know that.
I know that.
You know that.
We know that.
So why does it work the other way around?
I think Trent at the moment, though, he's going to have a lot of emotions around him as well because of his tie with Liverpool. He's like you say, he's a local lad. He's loved at the club. I do think he will leave the club a legend if he does go. I think the big turning point now will be Real Madrid with the news of Klopp possibly taking over. I think that will be a big decision for Trent himself now. But he will be also under pressure with, like you say, Salah and VD signing their contracts. That's what it will be. I do believe that inside of me, I do believe that he'll still stay.
Do you?
Yeah, I think after his celebration...
I really don't know.
I think there'll be a bit of him saying that he might want to stay.
I'm half with you, Robbo. I really do. I just think he is getting all carried away with this Real Madrid and it's grass is greener, and I don't think grass is greener. I really don't think the grass is greener.
It's motivations. I think it comes down to someone's individual motivations. Obviously, there's the money element, which he's a multi-millionaire, and if he was going to stay at Liverpool, he's going to be on at least 250 grand a week. But I just think it comes down to someone's motivations. He's been there since he was a kid. Does he want a new challenge? Does he want to go to training with a son on his back? And if he's there at Madrid for 5 years, he's probably guaranteed to win at least one Champions League.
Oh, lads.
He'll win more. He will win.
He'll win more.
Real
He will.
Madrid.
He will.
But it's Real Madrid, isn't it? It's the only club that you're possibly going to go to.
They're the biggest club.
They're the biggest club in the world, like your Barcelonas as well. The only clubs that are going to tempt you are them too. There's nowhere else.
Do you know what's brilliant throughout all of this is he has not said a word, right? We are writing column inches and we are filling up podcasts by talking about it, and he has not said a single word. Like, oh, God.
But this is where I also have a lot of respect for him as well, because we know what it's like, Ben, and you come to the end of your contract, players now are done.
Yeah.
At that club, they're done. He's not. He wants to play, like you say,
Yeah,
he scored the winner yesterday.
Yeah.
His emotions, the way he shows it, he celebrates the goal. A lot of players that we've played with or played against, we know that when it's coming to the end of their contract, they're refusing to play because they don't want to get injured. They don't want to ruin that opportunity of signing that contract and then it going because of it being injured.
I see what you're saying. I don't like the silence personally, but again, it's private. But with VVD saying it was always Liverpool. If I was like a Liverpool fan, a little bit like Cunha or Wolves, I'm not buying it.
No.
Just come out and say, do you know what? I am over the moon. We came to an agreement.
Yeah,
It's all you need to say, because it's just nonsense.
It's all just like, this will be like chip paper like tomorrow, and you know what I mean. It is what it is, kind of thing. But it was always Liverpool once that the weekly wage got turned into a 3. Once the weekly wage turned into a 3, it starts with a 3. Yes, then we can. Now we can do it.
It's a lot of zeros.
Now we can do it. What was it? 2-year deal on another 300 grand? Like it's a no-brainer.
He's the 4th highest paid player in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Can we talk about the game? So the Daka disallowed goal versus Alisson.
Yeah, it was a disallowed goal, and
Why?
rightly so. Because
Was it a bit soft?
nah.
Goalies are a bit soft now.
Listen, Alisson is just trying to go about his business, yeah? He's just trying to do his job, right? We get no respect in this game, yeah? We get no love from anybody. He's just trying to go out there, catch a ball, and he's got a player looking at him, premeditated, trying to give him an elbow and hurt him, basically.
It was a little glance, right? And then he just lent his body into him. Alisson's got to be, 6'3", knocking on for 100 kilos.
Well, what I will say is that I agree it's a little bit soft, but as a goalkeeper, right, when you have got your eyes on the ball and you're solely looking at the ball and you are ready to go and do that, the slightest of movement, the slightest of touch from an opposition player, all bets are off. Honestly, all bets are off. Your arms are all over the place, your body, you're all over the place, right? That's why I think it's a foul. But it's a soft one. I totally agree. The problem we've got is Daka is looking at Alisson, yeah?
He's had a little glance.
If Daka is just looking at the ball...
Bit more streetwise.
Bit more streetwise, not bothering about Alisson whatsoever, he might get away with it. But you can see Daka is not only looking at him, he makes a movement in towards him as well. And that's the reason why it's a foul. Simple as that.
Goalie's gone
That's
soft.
why it's given, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
If he doesn't look at him and he gives him that little nudge, then it will count.
Streetwise, Robbo, I like it.
Streetwise.
And then what about, so will the Liverpool board now be saying, with VVD, obviously putting pen to paper, and Mo and possibly Trent, who knows, we don't know yet, is now the MO for the board, right, you've got 2 years to find these direct replacements for them, Robbo?
It would have been for Arnie Slot, yeah. He would have been, like, obviously that short list for players to be in place, ready to go in case the two of them refuse to sign their contracts. But now it's looking good for him because the summer transfer window could be exciting for Liverpool. There could be many more players now following through the door of exciting new, like you say, the new change of what Liverpool want to go to. They could possibly win the league next week.
Next week, yeah.
So, again, yeah, that attracts players, doesn't it?
Not only that, I think it attracts players because they're thinking, oh, I could win a Premier League with this team. So if you've got a very good player that Liverpool are interested in, or maybe another big boy's interested, I think they'd go, Liverpool is the safer bet there. I think with this settled team they've got now, Virgil signed, Mo signed, I think they are going to be there or thereabouts again next season. The problem they've got is if Trent does go, Conor Bradley will probably be their right back. And there's a lot of people saying, then he's a perfect replacement. But you can't just perfectly replace Trent Alexander-Arnold.
He's a bit of a unicorn of a player, isn't he?
You can't just replace one of the best right backs,
game, isn't he?
right wing backs. You can't replace that. Yeah, it's not as simple as that. I don't care who it is that's coming through the youth ranks. You can't just replace them.
Trent, out of all of them, is irreplaceable in terms of his playing style. And what he does with the ball and the assists that he makes and his vision and the passing.
Conor Bradley's a fantastic player. Very, very good player, yeah. But there's going to be a drop-off. It's as simple as that. There's going to be a drop-off because you're talking about one of the best right-backs, right wing-backs.
Yeah, but is he the best right-back? I'm going to throw a spanner out there.
One of the best.
Defensively, he's not the best, is he?
Yeah, I agree.
And that's
these
where
days different.
Yeah, because you're now as a fullback, you're a winger.
Yeah.
You're classed as a winger.
Would you be allowed to defend like that back in the day?
No chance.
He didn't get over the halfway line. He didn't go past the halfway line. No,
as soon as I went forward.
He ain't messing about with none of that stuff.
Every time I scored a goal, I went to the physio, stopped the nose from bleeding.
Help me.
19 goals, mate.
How many goals did you score?
19 goals I scored.
Go on, Robbo.
I was a flying fullback, I was.
19 goals, I'm having that.
And wing back I played.
But
they're totally different players, though, as well.
Totally,
we're comparing Conor Bradley to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's unfair because Conor's going to have his totally different pathway to the way that his career will go. Trent is an outstanding talent. Now, Liverpool are in a position now, do they go with Conor Bradley and give him the opportunity to prove his worth? Yeah. Or do they go and sign a replaceable right-back that's on similar standards to Trent?
Yeah.
That's the question that Arnie Slot's going to be asking the board, if he can do it. If not, for me, I think give Conor Bradley an opportunity. I think he's done well. I think he's an exciting talent.
The thing is, Liverpool don't need a right-back. They need basically a right winger, yeah? A right winger who is all right at getting back as well.
That's what Trent is.
That's it. That's what they need.
You've got Salah there now, though, haven't you, as well? Who naturally won't help you out defensively.
Yeah, of course he won't.
The good thing with Conor, when you watch him, he has got a turn of pace. Yeah. He can recover quickly.
He's aggressive as well. Very aggressive.
There was a couple of times against Mavidi yesterday, you think, whoa, and he's quick and he's direct, but he caught him back up and he done well.
This is all assuming he's going, by the way, lads, and I'm still not. A couple of weeks ago, we were like, he's done. All three of them are going. Like, guaranteed they're going. I'm just not sure.
I don't know whether he's laying it on thick as I love the club and remember me fondly. So, who knows? What about the other geezer? What about Ruud? So, 29th of November last year, Ruud van Nistelrooy's stock was really high. Yeah, there was calls for him to, he should be staying on at United. Now, a few months later, they've lost 16 from the last 18. What the hell happens to Ruud now, Ben?
Would Ruud van Nistelrooy have done a better job than Ruben Amorim at Man United if he'd have stayed on?
Impossible to say.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's probably
because he had the respect to the players.
Yeah, I think he had that respect, and I just don't think that you could do much worse than what Amorim
But would he have been like a Band-Aid?
Yes.
Whereas this is was Ruud a guy for a full top-to-bottom rebuild?
No, he's not, but I don't think Amorim is either, to be honest with you. I think they're in a bad way, mate. They're a really bad way. He set his stall out, Amorim. I know we're going off topic. We're going to talk about Ruud in a second, I promise you. Amorim set his stall out last week when they won that game against Lyon and then said, I'm basically going to play the kids now for the rest of the season. It just signals his intent that the Premier League don't matter. So subconsciously, all of them players will take their foot off the gas a little bit. They should have beat Wolves. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they didn't, because I think it's set in now that it's like, right, all focus on the Europa game.
But Ruud wasn't the guy, clearly.
No,
but what does Ruud do now?
His record is...
It's abysmal.
He's got to rebuild his reputation. So does he stay with them? Does he stay with Leicester and take them in the Championship? That's the big questions now for Ruud. He's got to answer is that, yes, you've been relegated, but now he has an opportunity to rebuild not only himself, but Leicester.
Will they want him?
That's another question.
Because
the board have got to...
You've got the potential relegation. So my, I guess, gripe was they didn't sack him months ago because they could have had a chance. At the point of... Like, when they could have sacked him after 10 or 12 games, they were still within striking distance.
I think the money is the reason why they didn't sack him. They'd have obviously had to give him the payoff, and I'm pretty sure that when they get relegated, they can sack him for free, basically. Yeah. And that's probably what will happen. I think Ruud probably needs to get back to Holland, get his name and his stock a bit higher, manage one of them teams and get a bit of success with them, and then he can maybe look to come back in a few years' time.
Or would a championship team go for him?
No,
do you think
he doesn't know the Championship?
He won't understand that league.
The Championship is such a hard league to get out of. You need a manager that's been there, seen it, knows those Championship players, and has got the nous to be able to get out of the Championship. It's such a tough league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough league.
Such a tough league. But his record is it's awful. It is. It's absolutely awful. So, he's lost 16 from his last 18 games. Who's the team that they beat in that little run, by the way?
Spurs.
Go on, the Spurs.
Well, look at one of his counterparts. Look at Kieran McKenna. So obviously McKenna's gone back-to-back promotions. They've had a scrappy season. They've showed at times scrap, but it was never massively in doubt that they were going to go down. So, do you think McKenna, do you think he needs to go full circle, Robbo, and get them back up?
If he wants to be given the opportunity of doing it, yeah. I think McKenna, when you look at him compared to Ruud, his stock's really high because of the job he's done with, like, at Ipswich, the 2 leagues, the 2 straight promotions. So his stock will be a lot higher, where clubs will look at him and go, oh, do you know what? Is he
one of these fashionable managers?
Yeah, he is. He's a young, fashionable manager, and he's done a great job for Ipswich. But I think it's always inside you with what you want to do. When you look at his recruitment, he recruited, and I'm not being disrespectful, but championship players.
Yeah.
So now he's got the squad. When they do go back down, is that they'll come straight back up because they've got the squad, and the players understand the league. So they have the know-how already, whereas Ruud's different. He doesn't understand the league. He's going to have to buy a whole lot of brand new players there to rebuild it, whereas McKenna's already got that.
I think Ipswich I agree with that. They're so well equipped to come back up. They're going to lose Delap. I think that goes without saying. He'll probably go, I think, is it 60 mil he's got a release clause or something like that. So he'll be gone. So they'll need to replace that. And by the looks of the way Ipswich have done their business over the last couple of years, they like a big man up top. So you remember when they were in the Championship, they had Kiefer Moore.
Yeah.
So they had big Kiefer Moore battering ram. So it wouldn't surprise if they get a similar sort of sized player in to take over from Delap.
Well, you got El Hamadi, who they had Ipswich. They brought him, but he sent on loan to Stoke. So there's a perfect replacement. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah, but I think that they'll be primed. They'll be probably favourites to go up next season. And I think they've probably made the best fist of the 3 relegated teams this season, haven't they? To be fair, they just went down with a bit of a whimper. I think they had a chance, didn't they? Maybe 8 weeks ago, where they could have really gone for it. That Wolves game, they beat Wolves that game, where Wolves turn it around and end up winning 2-1. But they've just gone down with a little bit of a whimper for me.
That's been their downfall, hasn't it? Is they've been winning games comfortably and then they've just
thrown it away.
Conceded.
I think the difference is...
A bit like Southampton, wasn't it? They just throw goals away.
I think the difference is with Ipswich and Southampton and Leicester is that Ipswich have probably planned for this.
Yeah.
So, like you said, they've bought players. They haven't overstretched themselves, and they've kind of accepted the point that, do you know what, they might go back down, but they'll come back and potentially stronger. They'll have parachute payments. And it very much feels like, for me, that this is a process for Ipswich, whereas Leicester and Southampton, it's a bit more chaotic.
Leicester's double chaotic, isn't it? The ownership of that, the club, the fans, it's just disarray.
You don't know what the finance is like.
Absolute disarray it is, yeah.
Well, what about the game itself? We were chatting about this, actually, that Leif Davis red card on Saka.
Oh, yeah.
It's a red card.
Is it a straight red?
Yeah, it's a red card.
Would it be a straight red when you were playing?
No, because there's no cameras as much as VAR is. Okay. So again, you're always now going to go to the VAR to get a second opinion on it. But when you look at it, I don't intentionally think he's gone to do him. I just think it's just one of those moments where he's just left his foot there, and obviously there a sore one on the back of the Achilles. So so nowadays if you do tackles like that, it's a red card.
It's such a it is. Robbo's exactly right, but it's such a cheap one, such a cheap red card.
Do it. He's going away from goal.
Yeah.
You imagine
fullbacks now, you understand he's not going to hurt you.
That's the bit there. Like, you've got to be so much smarter and cleverer when you're tackling like that, especially when you're tackling Bukayo Saka, because he's so much quicker. Yeah, you've got to read the situation more. Just not jump in like that. Yeah, Ipswich have trained all week with 11 men. This is how we're going to play. This is how we're going to play. And you go and do that, it's all out the window. Game's over. Game's done. Straight away. It's like starting an F1 match and going into the barrier in the second lap or something. Game's done. Genuinely, it is. Like, just wait.
A Goldbridge-esque analogy.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. Apparently, Delap's got a 30 mil... Apparently. He's got a 30... If he's got a 30 mil relegation clause, there's going to be an absolute feed-in.
Let's get into the mechanics of this, right? £13 million,
but
right?
They bought him for 25, was it?
Get
25.
into this, right? Liam Delap's agent, right, has produced here like you would not believe. He deserves all of the pats on the back from Liam that he's going to get, right? Because what's going to happen now is, right, Liam Delap is going to have, I would say, the best part of 10 to 12 big boy teams looking at him. not only looking at him, wanting to sign him, yeah, already getting into his agent going, mate, bring him to us, right? We will give him a 10 million quid signing on fee. We'll give him 150 grand a week, right? He'll have 10 of them doing it, and then he'll go to the next club, the agent, and go, they've offered us 150 grand a week, though, right, and 10 mil. So if you can just beat that by 160 grand, 170, mate, honestly.
What do you think his level? What do you think his level is? Like now, if he was to go, where do you think?
I think
Well, he was at City, wasn't
around.
he? He was at City.
Yeah.
he can go anywhere.
So
he
I
can
think
go
he
anywhere.
could go back there.
You think he could go top?
It might be that they might have had, like you say, a
Top end of the
re-sign.
A buyback
Like some clubs
clause
do.
or
They have a
something.
buyback clause sometimes.
Oh, he is probably the most hottest property player in the Premier League at this moment in time.
To score as many goals as he has for that team.
For that team.
Where they are in the league.
It'd suit Man United down to the ground. It'd suit Chelsea
I think
down
abroad
to
as
the
well.
ground.
Chelsea.
I think abroad as well would, like a Dortmund or something like that.
I think he'd do well for Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal would be
I think
like a
he'd
good
do.
one.
This is what we're talking about. You talk all the teams were
But he's
mentioned
a
there.
throwback, isn't he, when you watch him?
Throwback.
He's still got that physicality about him where he put himself around like upset defenders, but he's also got great quality.
Yeah.
The way he runs with the ball for a striker is
What
incredible.
I love is that he just gets across the line and...
He works his socks off.
Mate, he can munt it.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
works his socks
He
off.
can munt it.
Yeah.
Right, OK. I need to ask you about the Bukayo Saka Champions League Panenka. So Rafael van der Vaart, former Spurs player, has come out saying it was a disgrace, his Panenka. And the quote is, I think this is a total overestimation of himself in the sense of, I'm going to steal the show here. While this is a very normal player who has to do his best every day, that he's doing now, what he's doing now is just a disgrace. What do you make of this, right? Right, I watched the game, right, and I've watched the game, and I was watching it with my lad, and I said, Thibaut Courtois looks big in that goal.
He's a beast,
He
isn't he?
looks big in that
goal,
goal.
Mate, I ain't trying to dink Thibaut Courtois.
It's what you're doing.
It's one of the shittest penalties I've ever seen. It is so shit.
But why is he doing it?
Right.
I think he's doing it an ego thing to go,
Do you think
I've
so?
arrived.
Do you think so?
I'm the guy.
Because as a goalkeeper, your intimidation, like in that goal, is to try and make it as big as possible.
Yeah,
Aren't you?
yeah.
As a player, now taking that penalty, you're against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu,
And Courtois.
and you're looking at Courtois. So for me, in my head, straight away, I'm just going to penalty against Courtois.
Smash it.
I'm just going to smash it
As hard as
low
that.
and
This is
hard.
what I agree with Van der Vaart
Low
to a
and hard.
point in the fact that I think he's gone, do you know what? I'm with all these stars and I'm going to do the flash, I'm the star boy thing. And I think he's massively misjudged it.
I don't know if Saka's like that though.
Well,
I don't know.
Dunno.
I half agree with the comment. I do. I half agree with the
So do
comment
I.
because I think at that moment in time, I think Bukayo Saka has got a little bit carried away with himself and he's tried to show off. He's tried to show off when, in reality, he puts that ball in the back of the net, the game's done, yeah? The game's done. We're, 10 minutes into the game? Put that ball in the back of the net and the game's done, right? It is the shittest penalty I've ever seen, right? Thibaut Courtois goes the right way and still has time to get his arm back and flap it out. That's how bad of a penalty it was, right? If I'm one of them other Arsenal players, I'm going up to him after that penalty and I'm going, oi, get your head in the game, knobhead. Don't do silly shit
I mean, he
like
did,
this.
to be fair.
But still, I don't want my player to be doing it. I just want him to take... I don't mind a player missing the target if he's absolutely gone for it. Putting it... if the goalie makes a world-class save, you hold your hands up, right? But it wasn't a world-class save. It was... He went the right way and he still had time to get his arm out and save it.
We're not, like, he's class, Saka. He's
Obviously
absolutely
he is,
class.
yeah, he's obviously
But
class.
What Van der Vaart's saying there, I agree with you. I think maybe he's probably been a bit OTT.
The thing is, why I agree as well is, if this was 0-0, right? The tie's 0-0 overall, and you're away at the Bernabeu, there's no way he's dinking
No,
that.
he's not doing it.
He's not dinking it. I don't know even if he's going to be the player to take the penalty at 0-0 overall. I think maybe a senior player would go and take that, and they're dispatching it properly. Dispatching
Who?
it properly.
He is
Rice, take it.
Martin Odegaard.
Odegaard, yeah.
Somebody where you go, yeah,
he's
go
the
on then.
penalty taker.
Just put the ball in the back of the net. But that would cast massive doubts now if I'm the Arsenal manager.
I asked you-
and Bukayo Saka is going to be doing that.
I mean, you've seen what they've done when he's been injured and then he's coming back and everything else, how important he is to that team. I asked you earlier on in the season, I'm going to ask you again. Is Saka world class?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It depends what your version of world class is.
We talk about world-class players all the time, don't we? With the
Yeah.
difference. Kevin De Bruyne is a world-class player.
Yes.
Because he assists, he scores.
Look at a World 11.
Proven.
Does he,
He's proven.
Does he
He's
get
proven.
in the World 11?
No,
and
he
for
doesn't
me,
get in front of Salah.
No.
Well, I was going to
On the
say,
right.
for me, he doesn't get in the Premier League 11 because of Salah.
Yeah.
But you got David
Totally
Beckham's. We're talking about over the years with quality of players, like wingers that have played in the Premier League. Saka has the potential to be a world-class player, yes.
He's not far away.
Not far away.
Not far away.
He's phenomenal.
He's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he's a phenomenal player. And Arsenal have missed him because of what he brings to the team when he plays. He brings that different dimension of he can beat players, he's direct, he can go in and out, and but at this moment in time, I wouldn't class him as a world-class player.
Yeah, I agree. They've got another one off the rank there, haven't they, in Nwaneri?
Brilliant player, man. Lovely player. Just rapid, direct, just brilliant.
Great young players coming through.
Are they going to be able to keep him happy, do you think?
Who? Nwaneri? Yeah, without
Yeah.
doubt. Without doubt.
They're going to give him enough football?
I think it's a lot harder to
As
keep
a young
these...
player, who do you want to learn off? I want to learn off watching Saka.
Yeah, true.
Because I want to see what he does. I want to see the level that I can get to by learning off him.
I think it's a lot harder to keep these young players happy as what it used to be. I think back in the day, if you played 20 games for a Premier League team, a big team, you're getting talked about, but you're not getting hyped up like crazy. The world we live in where Nwaneri scores a goal at the weekend and he scored, how many, 10 or so goals this season. He's all over TikTok. Everybody's making edits and videos. Like, the kids all know what he is and who he is. Like, they get hyped up so much, right? And even the player starts believing this hype a little bit more. And it's really difficult for them because then his agent starts going, well, mate, so many shirts my player's selling. Like, he wants more wages. Like, he's talked about in terms of, like, being a big player for this. We want a 5-year deal on under £1,000 a week at 18, 19. And it's the way that it goes, lads, honestly. It's really, really difficult nowadays for these young players. Quickly, though, before we move on, Rafa van der Vaart, he is... Mate, he don't mince his words.
He's punchy, isn't he?
He guns for people. So we had the Lamine Yamal quotes, didn't he, a couple of weeks ago, where he said about him just the way that he looks, the way that he's and he never used to be doing these kind of he is. I think Van der Vaart will be an unreal Foscast guest. Like we could make that canary sing. We could make that canary sing, couldn't we?
Oh yeah.
What do you think of him, Rafa? Go on then, go.
He's got to be high up on the list, hasn't he? How good was he at Spurs?
Oh, he's very good.
He's joker for football.
Very good.
Right, another question for you. Have Chelsea had a good season?
Oh, that's a good question.
This is a real mixed one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, with what Maresca's had to go in and deal with, like the millions that they spent, the change of, like you say, the trying to get them to play a certain way.
Trying to manage the squad.
He's been abused by the fans recently, and they're still picking up points now, and in a real good position. I think he's done a real good job.
So would you? I walked into the office this morning, Robbo, and I said to lads, have Chelsea had a good season? Yes or no? And you both kind of went, no, like that.
What? Right. So, yes, they've had a good season, but why do I feel like they haven't? I feel like there's always a bit of a circus going on.
It's because of it's because they started the season so well, and then they've been patchy, right? But when you put it into perspective, right, in the season before last, they finished 12th. Last season, they finished 6th.
Yeah.
They're currently in 5th with a very good chance of finishing 3rd. They're in the semi-final of the Conference League, which will go, it's the Conference League. But that's not Maresca's fault. He can only play in the competition that he's in. Yeah. They got to the Carabao Cup final and then knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup.
Do you know what I feel like? I just feel that there's not much substance with Chelsea. I feel like they're a bit milky. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I feel like I can't rely on them. They're going to win against Fulham yesterday, and now they're going to lose next week against Brentford. That's what I feel with Chelsea. That's what I feel.
I think there's a perspective now on Chelsea, though, isn't there? And it is. It's like your Man United's, your Tottenham's, Chelsea's. Everyone's expected of them to win the league. Whereas the game's changing. Like Liverpool now, they're on top form. Arsenal been on top form. Man City been on top form over the years. With a Chelsea, back in the day, they were winning the league. Simple as that. They were competing. Man United were winning leagues, winning cups all the time. It's all changed. So people will look at it and go, no, Chelsea have not had a good season. But they're not looking at what now they're going through. Yeah, they're going through this change. They're going through this change again, like all the teams do over the years.
And there's so many teams now. Like there seems to be another team getting added every year or so with the money, isn't it? It's like Newcastle in recent years have been thrown into the mix because of the ownership.
Your Villas now are building like squads to compete at the top level. Newcastle's, like you mentioned,
isn't it, mate?
like your Brentfords, like, they're getting stronger.
Mate, we could have gotten rid of the top. You know, it used to be Big Four, then it was Big Five, Big Six. It could be Big Eight, Big Ten soon. Yeah. It could be, couldn't it?
Which is it more exciting?
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
It's great for football, I think, now that there are like
I think
8 to 10 teams.
I think Villa are 3 or 4 players away from challenging.
But do you know what I also think about Villa? Do you know what's really interesting? I think Villa are the same 2 or 3 players away from being a very good team, but I also think they're Unai Emery leaving away from not being great anymore.
You think he's that good?
That good. I think he's that important.
I agree.
I think it'd be the same with Newcastle with Eddie Howe.
Yeah. Whereas if you take Villa away from Brighton or
Thomas Franks away from Brentford, you know what I mean? It's
change.
You're
never far away, lads. Honestly, you're not.
Well, let's talk about the. I've got another question for you. Right, Mbeumo has scored 18 Premier League goals this season. Wissa has
Premier League goals?
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
And Wissa 16, right?
Premier League goals.
Premier League goals.
That's phenomenal.
They're both in like the top 6.
That's phenomenal,
right? And the question I have for you both is: are they that good, the players? Or do Brentford just set their strikers up for success?
No, they're both very good. They're both very good. I don't care.
But don't they work in a system that just... Yeah, it's like Chris Wood.
Completely agree, but I think if you put 2 other people in them positions, they wouldn't have the output of what Mbeumo and Wissa have. Guarantee you. Watch some of the goals. Their nous, their cleverness, the will to get on the end of things and the will to keep going and scoring. And I love them. I do. I think they're absolutely brilliant. Them 2 as a duo. Brentford are so lucky to have them. They really, really are. Because they could improve, I'm going to say, most teams in the Premier League.
Well, there's big talk of Mbeumo going to Liverpool, 50-odd mil. There's a lot of chat about, when Tony was there, about him earning, in Premier League terms, not huge sums of money. Right? And from what I can gather online, take it with a massive pinch of salt. Mbeumo's on something like 45 grand a week. Is this something you heard within the game when you were playing, that they don't pay?
Yeah, they're not big players.
Is that genuinely something that you would hear about?
Certain clubs you hear about that they're just not big payers. It's as simple as that. I remember Blackpool when they got into the Premier League. Their wage cap,
10 grand, wasn't
it? 10 grand a week.
Every player was on 10 grand.
No. That's the maximum. Yeah, you had players on 1,500 quid a week, 2 grand a week. Yeah. The maximum was 10 grand, was probably DJ Campbell, for example, yeah? The maximum, right? And there's certain teams, Burnley when they got promoted...
Charlie Adam.
Burnley when they got promoted never pushed over 40 grand a week, yeah? That's the maximum. That's what they're paying. And apparently Brentford are this sort of team as well, which is really difficult.
But that means that the agent and the player, like, I'm not being funny, in real world, of course, it's lots and lots of money and should be enough for the rest of their life, but... They haven't been earning, let's say Mbeumo, 45 grand a week. He hasn't been earning 45 grand a week for 10 years.
He's 25 years old now, right, Brian Mbeumo?
Yeah.
His next deal has to be his big deal.
Yeah.
Has to be his big deal.
So he'll be wanting to move?
He'll be wanting 100 grand a week to stay at Brentford.
5 years.
Or he's going to start gunning for a little bit of a move because he's looking around and he sees everybody else in the Premier League with much less numbers, much less output on treble the wages.
And he's earned it. So Mbeumo now, like you said, at 25, he's got to be looking at a 5-year deal on 100 grand a week.
Pretty much.
Same as Wissa.
But that's where a team like Brentford won't break that structure.
No,
because
that's the bit.
Teams have the financial structures, and we're looking nowadays with football. As soon as they break the financial structure of their teams, we look at them. They go.
They go. Yeah.
They literally go.
Money
now
softens.
They've got to do it.
Money softens.
They've got to do it
lads.
to all the players now that come through the door.
Do you reckon United would take him 100 mil?
Vissa's 28 years old. Yeah. Say Vissa's on 40 grand a week, right? Vissa's going to get a 3-year deal at 28, max. He'll get a 3-year deal at 28 on 100 grand a week, maybe, yeah? But I just don't think Brentford are that team to want to do it. They might push to 70, 75, 80, but I don't think they're...
Not enough for them.
I don't think they're pushing it out. But you have to have takers.
They're both proven.
Yeah, they are proven.
Not one season.
The problem you got is...
Frank's done with them.
This is 28 years old, though, and I think 28 is perfect. I think you've still got another 3 years left at 28, right? But clubs aren't going to be willing to pay the money for it. That's his problem that he's in. And Mbeumo's in a bit of a different kettle of fish. He's still, at 25, you're probably... Teams are willing to risk that 40, 50,
Would you say that
quid.
strikers' primes have shifted a little bit older?
Yeah, of course they have. Because they're like a dying breed now, strikers who score loads of goals, aren't they? You look at the Man City without Haaland, they don't score enough goals. Yeah. Salah without Liverpool, if he'd have gone, he's the goal scorer. He's their main goal scorer with what they do. So people like Mbeumo and Wissa, Brentford, they will have to try and push the boat out to keep them both. But we've got to give credit to Thomas Franks. He plays to their strengths. Yeah. Like when you watch their team play, it's like they are the two players that they want on the ball because they're creators and they score goals.
They've got like Shada who'll come in and score.
They've got so many good players.
And they've got the lad, I can't even remember his name, the Brazilian lad, he was their record signing, and he doesn't really get this
because he's probably not settled in at this moment in time. Brazilian, sometimes it takes time to find your feet, especially in the Premier League. You're expecting players to go straight in and go boom like that, but sometimes it's hard for players to find their feet in the Premier League.
Right.
Norgard, Damsgaard,
good
mate,
players,
flying.
But they're all good players.
Flying, yeah, they are. They're really good. I really like the.
But that's where I like the Brentford model with what they've got. Yeah. It's like Thomas Franks has a way. He's done it since he took over as the manager, and it's a brilliant model, and everyone should be following that model.
Yeah, right. Other goal scoring machines. Ollie Watkins. So there's chatter this morning. We were looking at articles, weren't we? And there's chatter of a swap move. So Villa have got an option of 40 mil for Rashford. Yeah. But there's actually chatter of a swap move of Watkins to United, Rashford to Villa.
OK, first of all, are you paying 40 million quid for Rashford if you're Aston Villa?
No.
Simple as that.
I think people... I genuinely believe people are making out he's been better than he has. I think he showed glimpses, but he scored 1 goal in 9 Premier League games. Yeah. 2 goals in an FA Cup versus Preston, and apparently he was not good in the first half in that game.
I think a lot of people saw him against PSG the other night and were like, oh my God, that's Rashford, that's what you want from him. And there were glimpses, I totally agree. The first leg, he was miles off it, didn't really look happy again, back to sort of himself, and I just think it's too risky for Aston Villa.
It's a massive gamble.
I don't think Unai Emery would sanction.
But the problem for me now, though, is right. You've got Ollie Watkins coming out saying that. So this is a guy that is, from all accounts, a brilliant bloke. Yeah. Really good team player. Yeah. Scores lots of goals, and there's unrest. Yeah. Or I don't know if there's unrest, but if he's coming out saying he was fuming...
Oh, there's a bit of unrest then.
There's a bit of unrest there.
Definitely a bit of unrest.
There'll be a bit of unrest from the Arsenal deal, wouldn't there? That's why. Yeah. From that last-minute deal that Arsenal tried to get over the line for him. So there is going to be unrest from a player like Ollie Watkins because his dream move would probably have gone, I want to go to Arsenal.
But you must be fuming if you're Watkins. Yeah, he can't do a lot more.
No, but he's a goal scorer.
You've been at the club,
proven goal scorer.
You've been at the club so long, right, Ollie Watkins, and the biggest game in that club's history, the biggest game for years, and he gets left on the bench. And I don't blame him, mate. I would be absolutely raging as well, especially that first leg as well. That first leg, right? It was a massive, massive decision to make for Unai Emery to leave him on the bench and to start Rashford. And Rashford didn't really give it a leg. He didn't really give it a leg.
Thing is, though, Foz, like, if he was being dropped for Asensio or, for argument's sake, a Haaland, someone that he comes in and goes, well, they've scored 20 goals this season. I can't... But he's not. He's being replaced by Rashford.
Yeah, I know.
That's got to be the problem, because he goes, what can I do? Why? Yeah. What's going on here?
My eyes as well, Rashford's not a striker.
No, he's not.
That would hurt Ollie Watkins more, is knowing that he's being replaced by not a striker.
He's better off the left,
He's better off on the wide left, cutting in onto his right. And obviously Duran went, which again was another loss for Villa, like not having a replacement to come in, and obviously push Watkins a little bit. So, yeah, there's always going to be unrest with players nowadays. The more you read about it, the more you see is players want to move on. They want better moves now. Yeah. Especially someone like a Watkins coming to 29. He will want to go to, if he's linked with Man United.
Is he good enough for Arsenal and to compete at that?
I believe with the better players with him, around him, yeah, he'll do well for Arsenal. Because he'll score goals.
I think he'll score a bucket load of goals.
He'll score loads of goals.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting sidetracked here. I'm trying to think what's next for Marcus Rashford then. What's he going to do? Like, where's he going to go?
Does he go abroad, Marcus? Does he just get away from England?
I just think his whole situation
That's the question he's got to ask himself.
He's on so much money, though. Like, he's on so much wages that Man United, I think Man United are going to try and sell him because they need him for PSR, for homegrown, that is pure
And
profit.
Amorim don't want him around the place.
I don't think Amorim really wants him around the place. He doesn't suit the system. It's tough. It's going to be really interesting. Really, really interesting.
But you've got to scratch into the individual, Ben.
You have. Yeah.
I don't think we still know the full story.
No, it's true. I don't like the way Watkins been been dealt with, though. I don't like the way it's happened for Ollie Watkins. I understand why he'd be fuming, because he had that option to go to, not an option, but he had a potential move to Arsenal that Villa said, no, we love you so much, we want you around, we're going to reject this 50, 60 million quid bid. And then they go and bring Marcus Rashford in, and then the biggest game in the club's history for, I don't know, in the modern era anyway, they'd put him on the bench, and it'd leave a real shit taste in your mouth.
John Duran is absolutely screwed out Watkins, hasn't he? The fact that they've got, 85 mil or something for him.
But it's your point there, Tom. It's like we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
No,
Watkins could have been acting like out of sync with what he'd normally like because of that. So Emery's made a point, and as a manager, sometimes you have to make a point. Yeah. Look, you're not the big dog here. So I'm going to put you back in your box for a little bit, let you calm down, let you see what I'm like as a manager.
Yeah.
Strike hot. There you go. Now deal with it.
Lads, can we talk about this Niclas Fullkrug interview, please?
Thoughts?
It's class. I love it.
I know you'd have loved this.
I'm all over this. This is the exact sort of comment that gets made in front of all of the lads as soon as the game is finished, when you've got into that changing room and you're really annoyed. That is exactly what gets said.
But will the lads be really annoyed that he's taking it public?
No, I don't think they will. I think he would have said that, as long as he said that to the lads.
Said that in the dressing room.
As long as he said that to the lads in the dressing room, in the heat of the moment, right? Because I agree with him. There is a massive mentality problem at West Ham where they score the goal and then they just sink and they stop, and it's like protection mode. And as long as he's done it at full time in front of the lads, nobody would be able to say anything to him.
So that's fact.
Because they all know.
So if he hadn't have said anything, gone about his business, then gone out and done the interview.
Yeah, then it doesn't land.
Is it
quite
because
so well.
it's two-faced?
Yeah, it's because it's kind of two-faced. That's exactly what it is. The lads need that to have happened in the dressing room, because nobody can come back at him. Nobody can say, you're talking shit here. You're talking shit. He's not talking shit. He's being bang on. He's being honest, and he wants more from the team, right? He wants more.
Does it hold more weight, the fact that he's a German international? He's played in a Champions League final, Luke?
Yeah.
Right?
Mate, it's incredible. He's been there, he's seen it, he knows what the level should be. He knows that he wants the rest of his teammates to step up there and really dominate now. We've scored one goal, let's go and get a second. Let's just keep it going, right? And he can see it inside of all of them players that he's playing with, that they haven't quite got that killer. They haven't got that little horrible. And do you know the part of his interview that I really, really like? Do you know when, like, you do something to your mum and she says, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed? He said, I'm not disappointed, I'm just angry. I love it. It was perfect. I'm not really disappointed, I'm just angry.
He's reversed it,
I'm just angry. And that is brilliant. I do. I think it's absolutely class. You need a team of them players. You really do.
The way that he spoke about we don't play football anymore.
Yeah.
I either read into that as he was digging the manager out.
Yeah,
a
sometimes your emotions get carried away, though, don't you? Like you say, you do. If you've said what you've said in the dressing room, you're still coming out raging. So now you're going to go into an interview and you're still raging. Some of his comments that he's made, probably, he wasn't meant to say them, because you could look at it a little bit going, you're having a little dig at the manager here with the style of football or the way that we want to play as a team. I mean, I've not seen the game, but it would have been nice to see, is he like that on the pitch? Does he demand off his players enough on the pitch with the way that he's spoken there? Like, I would want to see someone like that now. If you're coming out publicly and digging the team out, I would want to see you on the pitch digging them out there.
Do you think Potter's got that in him?
I like the way that Niclas Fullkrug says it, though, because he says it very emotionless, yeah? He is maintaining pure eye contact with that reporter as he's saying
Stop eyeballing me now.
He means it, yeah? He means everything he's saying.
Yeah.
And I don't take that as a slight on the manager. I don't. I take that as he is saying that to his fellow teammates.
And he's just trying to drag standards up.
He's trying to drag standards, yeah.
He's like you'd say, players, the winners, aren't they?
I've played in so many teams, right, where we're struggling and you score an early goal and you can just see everybody go, right, protection mode, let's just, stop trying to do this football that requires a bit of bravery and to play out and to play these nice little passes, because it requires bravery, especially when a team's pressing on you. Just go long, and I see it all the time, they just go long. But what that does is it brings so much more pressure. The crowd sense it, your players sense it, the opposition sense it, and it's inevitable. The goal will come because of doing that, and it's a mental shift, it's an emotional feeling, and he's just trying to get them to snap out of that and just go, right, let's go and score a second goal. Because when you score a second goal, you get a bit more, let's keep it going then, let's keep it going.
West Ham are good players, aren't they?
Good players, they've always been good players.
Delap would be a good signing for them. I'm very surprised that Evan Ferguson hasn't hasn't
hit the
done
ground
much.
running.
Yeah, I thought he could be a little...
He had a bad injury, though, earlier in the season. I think it's taken him a little while to get up to speed. He's a big lad as well, so I think it's taken a little while to get up to speed. If West Ham sign Liam Delap in the summer, that is the signing of the season ever. It's not happening, by the way. It's definitely not going to happen.
Do you think he will go to...
He'll go to one of the big boys, yeah. He'll go to a big boy. It's a no-brainer. 30 million quid, it's no risk whatsoever involved in that for anybody. Whoever signs him, they've done wonders.
Right, there's no escaping it, lads. We're gonna have to get onto United.
For what?
Losing again.
Did they lose again? Who'd they play? Your boys.
I thought you were being serious for a second.
5 wins in a row. I saw this one coming.
Form team in the league.
I saw this one coming. I knew it was going to come. Like I say, as soon as they beat Lyon in the week and he came out and he says, I'm going to have to play the kids now, I'm going to have to... It's all about the European game. That's what it does. It just sends a message to the players that it doesn't really matter.
But this is
anymore.
Man United. They can't be going, we're fighting in 2 competitions.
Man United by name now. That's all it is. It's Man United by name. They're not. They're a pale complexion of what they used to be. They really are. They're just by name. That's all it is.
It's damning, but it's true.
It's damningly true, isn't it?
Are you questioning the players as well, though, there, Amron, with like their attitudes and their fitness? If you're saying that players from a Thursday night can't then go and play again on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, yeah.
Like,
but if you question the players, you've got to question the manager.
It's Man United. Like, your players should be, like, ready to go every game. You don't drop players like Bruno Fernandes, I'm sorry.
No,
you don't take him out of the team.
No way.
He's your ticking... at this moment in time, he is the ticking player that's keeping them together with what he does. And we talk about him sometimes where he's petulant with the way that he leads Man United as captain. But he's their main player. Yeah. He dictates everything. So you don't leave him out. You play him.
You get through that game yesterday, you get through the Sunday game, and then you've got a whole week to prepare now, yeah? So you say to the lads, right, lads, I know you're all a little bit tired, you played Lyon, it was a late game, extra time, all that kind of stuff, and you might be a little bit sort of like tired for the Sunday game, but we smash this game, we give it everything we've got, right? You've got a whole week then until your next game.
I can understand it if Fernandes is kind of like like a KDB and you have to wrap him up in cotton wool a little bit. He has got an incredible record. Bruno Fernandes doesn't really get injured, particularly.
And again, he's the type of player that you would not want to wrap up in cotton wool because he'd be the type of player going, no, I'm playing.
Mate, I think it's such a risky game to play, I do. I think it's a real risky game to play by resting players and then going, it's all about this European. I don't like it. I don't. I think you've got to still play pretty much the full-strength team. And if you do get an injury, then it's just bad luck. But it's the way that it goes.
I think they're just putting themselves under massive, massive pressure because everyone knows they've written off the league and everything else. But his record is that bad now that he's played 22 league games. He's lost 11, won only 6, right? And I know it's a project and everything else, but the form's that bad that they're now in the scenario where they were with Ten Hag, right? And if they win this cup, great, and everything else. But it goes back to the same thing. If they lose 4 out of the first 8 league games next season, on the back of this season's form...
He's sacked.
He's going to go.
He's sacked. 100%.
Because they can't...
And are they going to back him in the transfer window, in the summer transfer window as well?
But is he proven? Like, if this was an Unai Emery coming in, or a Poch, or someone like that, and you go, trust the process. But he's managed a couple of teams in Portugal... His points per game at Sporting, who will have had the biggest, if not one of the biggest budgets in Portugal, was 2.29 points per game in Portugal. He's on 1.44 at United. Is that just a completely different kettle of fish over there, Ben?
Completely, right. The 11 players that he's got on that pitch on that Saturday afternoon, right, he could play them in a 1-4-6 formation, right, and they'd still win, yeah? It doesn't matter what formation he plays. They've got the best players. It's as simple as that, right? So whatever they play, it's going to look good because they're just going to be better than the other teams, right? When you have to start really earning your money is when you sign for a team that hasn't necessarily got them players and you're in a tougher league and you've got to try and find a formation and a style of play that suits that squad. Instead of coming and going, no, I play a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. You can't do that. Why bother? You're playing square pegs in round holes, is that what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You should be going around and finding out the perfect formation, the perfect playing style for this current squad, and then get to the summer and then go, right, now let's start buying these specialist players that fit my player, the formation that I'm trying to play.
There's going to be people at the club now, technical directors, Ratcliffe, Brailsford, that are going to be questioning whether he's the right guy because the way I look at it is that he's skipped a move, Amorim. So he's done, was it Braga, then Lisbon, and then there's a move there that didn't happen.
Where? Which one? What sort of team do you think that would be?
Look at Unai Emery, right? He's won UEFA Cups, didn't quite work out at Arsenal and everything else. And then you look at other managers in the Premier League they've got that stepping stone, it's that pathway. And Mourinho was an exception. He won the Champions League with Porto back in the day. But he's gone from, smaller Portuguese team to the big team to then...
To Man United.
And
that's...
where's that gap in between?
It's like you need him to go to like a Spanish team, a decent Spanish team, or you need him to go to like Xabi Alonso in Germany. Yeah. Go into like the Bayer Leverkusen and then ripping up, doing something,
like
winning a cup, getting really far in Europe or something, impressing people on the European stage by going, you seen that team in the Europa League? They're smashing it, by the way. They're doing really, really well.
I don't think you can hang your hat on his achievements so far.
No. Not with a team like Man United. Not with what he's tried to... He's experimenting now and it's not helping what he's trying to do. Bringing in the young lads, it's difficult for the young lads because of the pressure, because of the position they're in. And the expectation levels now is these kids are expecting to play for Man United and perform at high level. Yeah. And it's impossible.
And then who have they got mentoring them? Who have they got looking after them? I was speaking to a massive United fan, season ticket holder at the weekend, and he was saying he's still on board with Amorim, but he said there's the one thing he can't get past is this unwillingness to change things.
Yeah.
I think that might be
his downfall. His downfall will be is that he won't change. And that unfortunately is, you live and die by that, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
As a manager, with what everyone's saying from the outside, on the inside, he believes that this is going to work, the formation that he's playing, the players that are playing in positions that are not comfortable playing in these positions, he believes it's right, and he'll carry on with that, and he won't change it.
I think it's a bit selfish as well. Do you know Southampton?
Yeah.
He was a Southampton manager at the start of the season.
Russell Martin, yeah.
I'm doing this, we're getting pumped 6-0, we're doing it, I'm getting pumped 7-0. Yeah, it's great that you've got your things that you want to live by, but your team are suffering because they're not good enough to do it. And it's the same with this. The team aren't good enough to play the positions and the formations that he's trying to play.
So right now, do you think he'll be there at Christmas?
No.
I think he will, because I think I think that the whole organisation have backed themselves into a corner with him.
They're in a bad way.
Unless they get off to an absolute stinker next season.
Yeah.
I think he'll be there.
Oh,
really do.
Gosh, yeah. I don't think they'll get top 10 next year.
What about Onana, Ben? Am I being a bit picky, saying I was trying to look and put my adopted goalkeeper's head on, going, could he do better for the goal? And you were like,
no chance. It's a very good free kick. The one person I think could have done better was probably Chido Obi in the wall, because as he's jumped, he hasn't really jumped for one, but he's turned.
On a ducky turn.
He's turned, and you see Victor Lindelof next to him. Victor Lindelof's doing it properly. He's kind of jumping forward and trying to make himself as tall as he can.
Yeah.
Chido Obi's just sort of shrunk, that makes sense, and turned. And I think if Chido Obi, who's 6'3" odd, if he really tries to be aggressive, he might get a clip on it or something like that.
It's like what you said the other week. If you're going to be in a wall, you're going to have to accept that you're going to take one in the mush and be big. And for me, you've got to get your Maguire, the 6'4", 6'5" boys in there, because if you actually took away that wall, like you said the other week, even though this one was quite close, if you took away that wall, he saves that.
Mate, I've played for managers, right, where if that goal would have gone in, on the Monday morning, we're looking at the video back, right, and the person, Chido Obi, who turned his back or twisted, mate, he is getting singled out and he is getting absolutely bollocked, yeah? Absolutely bollocked.
By the manager?
By the manager. But they're the tiny details that just, it seems to me get overlooked now.
Yeah, you can't do it.
People don't look at these little tiny details anymore.
But would you, as a senior player, I would hope that the Bruno Fernandes, the Harry Maguires, the Christian Eriksens, the Casemiros would be pulling this kid on a Monday morning and going, see that? You can't do that, mate. If you're going to play for this club and stand in that wall,
What do you think? Do you think they would have done that on a Monday morning?
I don't know.
I don't think they would.
I don't know.
I don't think that is the level of detail that they would go into. I don't think they do that sort of stuff anymore. But the little details eventually add up to massive problems. If you keep overlooking them, massive problems can come from it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great free kick, though, isn't it?
It's a great free kick. It's a really good.
But also, what's Onana doing after it's gone in? Is he singling out the defence, the wall? Because as a goalkeeper, you get that wall in place for a reason. So now are you the one that's going, what are you doing?
Aren't they going to go, have a day off, mate. You've been shit this season.
Yeah, how are you talking to?
This
is the problem.
The problem is like football nowadays is that you can't say anything to anyone.
So would you not think that there's a team discussion? I don't know how it works. So is there not a discussion where they'll sit in the room, and they'll go, you can't do that. You've got to be braver here. And the senior players will have a voice.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Why?
The manager should do it. The manager should pull him separately, even walking out with him to training or walking back in. Arm round him and go, right, do you know the free kick? Yeah. You turned your side. Yeah, you ducked your head. If you big and brave, you get a touch on that. That ball don't go in the back of the net.
Who are those guys at United?
I don't think there's many of them.
No, when you were there.
Oh, mate, anyone and everyone.
Would somebody have a word with you?
100%. Oh, 1,000,000%. My goalie coach, first and foremost, the other goalkeepers, your defenders right in front of you, they would do it. The people in the wall, because I know for a fact that they're all trying their best, straining every last little sinew to try. You would do the same. Straining, hits me in the face. I don't care if it hits me in the face. It ain't going to hurt. When you've got that adrenaline coursing through your body, mate, you don't feel a thing, do you? Mate, it's fine. Sweet as a nut. As long as it don't go in the back of the net. And then you've got this happening, and it's just, again, I'm not trying to single out the young lad that's in the wall, because I think their problems are so much bigger than that, but it's gotten to this place because they've started overlooking these little details.
Yeah. And then what about my boys, Wolves?
Incredible.
Pressure's off.
Incredible.
Form team in the league. But is it easier, Robbo, when they know they're safe, they're playing teams with nothing to play for, bit of momentum?
Because they're relegation threatened, weren't they? So now in Wolves' eyes is that they're safe and they can look forward to the Premier League again next year. So now it's a real rebuilding situation again for them now. New manager, summer window coming up. Right, let's rebuild, let's keep trying to move forward all the time. And I think teams that are in and around the relegation battle, survival's the most important thing. So Wolves have survived, so now they've got a plan for next year to see where they can go.
Players, they've got some.
Mate, it's good. It's good though. I like the fact that they're winning games for fun. It's real good habits. Yeah, it speaks a lot actually of the squad, and it speaks a lot of the manager.
You'd have written them off with what was going on, like the fighting between themselves, the fighting with the opposition players and staff. You looked at that club and you thought, what are you doing? Like, you're an embarrassment. Yeah. You're going to go down. But they've turned the corner and they've now moved forward, got themselves safe, like all teams now in the Premier League, because there is that gap now between the top two and the top 4 or 5, between the bottom lot. There's that battle at the bottom now where you're always trying to fight for survival, and Wolves have managed it. West Ham are the same. They've survived.
When we got relegated with Watford, I think 2020, my second season there, the season before, we got off to an unreal start. We were top 4 like Christmas time, absolutely flying. But then the second half season, fell off a cliff.
Finished 11th?
11th we finished. Fell off a cliff, yeah. I mean, we lost sort of, I'm talking 9 or 10 of the last sort of 14, 15 games. Massive, yeah. The rot set in. The next season we started, manager got sacked after 4 or 5 games, Javi Gracia. We got on a stinking run.
About United.
The rot had setting in, mate. Honestly, it's so hard to get out of that place when it's all fully
Even when you go into a new season?
Completely. It was already there. We took it into the next season with them. We couldn't get out of it, got relegated that season. I tell you, for Wolves to finish the season like this is massive for them for the start of next season. I would reckon, as long as they keep most of their players, I think we know Cunha's going, I think they'll have a decent season next year.
I think a good season. We talk about it every week, but the standard from probably 4th down to 10th is just really good, isn't it? I reckon a good season for Wolves next season is top 12.
Yeah, mid-table. Really. Mid-table would be a belter.
Yeah. World famous football filling quiz?
I think it is. World famous football filling quiz. I need to win today, Robbo. I need to win today. Games are running out and I'm lagging behind.
Tactics.
4 behind, and we've got how many games left? 6?
5, is it? 5?
Yeah, I'm going to come out the gate hot this week.
Yeah, probably, because you always do. You just guess an early one.
Jamie told you the answer.
Jamie's under massive pressure today. Come on, Jamie.
Here he is. Come on, Jamie.
Come on, Jay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the football fill-in. Today, the football fill-in. The football
Somebody's
fill-in
farted, by the way.
You farted?
100%
Nervous fart, that is.
I might have foul one out.
It's like a lazy, leaky one.
Is it?
I might have just leant over and a bit of lamb came out.
Yeah.
Yes, we like a bit of lamb.
We do.
Scores on the doors. Tom, you're on 15. Ben, you're on 11. Watto's not here today on 5. Tozer on 3. And Robbo, representing the guests today, they're on 2.
Got a point last week, didn't we?
So, we're going to start off with question 1. Reece James has been on loan to one
Wigan.
club. Which club was it?
Wigan Athletic.
Wigan. That's really good.
Dan, have a word with your boy.
Nah, he's winding. This is not right. That's a plant question, yeah. No, you've done this, lads. I'm going to walk out.
Not after last week.
No, you've done this on purpose. That's a plant.
That's the answer. Well done, Robbo.
No, that's
Smashed
a
it.
plant question.
I'm even
We
annoyed
got
with that
him
one.
already, Luke.
Yeah, first one's got to be a
Straight away, mate. I knew that.
Come on.
Where he went on.
Right, no, lads. Honestly,
You don't learn.
no chance.
Biggest nibs ever.
Was that genuinely the question?
Yeah, it was.
I'm not getting
Really?
it. Yeah, come on. Come on.
So that's 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0.
That's the worst starting question in the history of starting questions. That's even worse than last week. Oh my gosh.
Scott Parker.
It's not even banter. I'm still thinking.
Wait there. Charlton.
And you're out. You're out.
I know. It was worth it, though, because if it was right, I think he'd be out the door.
Brilliant. You're getting thrown over there, mate.
Yeah.
Go over there, Jamie.
So the answer's not Charlton.
Come on, Ben. Deep
Charlton,
breath.
no.
You're still in this.
That was worth
Do you
sacrifice.
want to go for it?
I was
Do you
actually
wanna
going to
guess
say
one?
it.
No, I'm not going to guess it.
No?
I think the answer's probably Bournemouth.
No, but you're out.
I didn't answer it.
You're out. You're out.
All right.
You said it.
Robbo.
Go on.
Scott Parker has managed in England and what other country?
Wow.
Is it Belgium?
Belgium's the correct answer. Well done, Robbo.
Good question.
It's not.
Question 3. Who was the
Is he
first
turning up?
Yeah.
manager to get sacked this season?
Good question.
Who was the first manager to get sacked this season?
Russell Martin.
No,
Gary O'Neill.
no.
Gary O'Neill.
Wolves. That was not that long ago, was it?
No.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're out, Robbo. All back in. Who was the first manager to get sacked this season?
Oh, bloody hell. I can't...
Lopetegui.
No,
West Ham.
no.
Oh,
5,
I know the team.
3,
Wait there a sec, Jay. This
Two.
first manager this season.
1. Out.
Leicester, whoever it was.
No, it's Eric Ten Hag.
Eric Ten Hag. Man United.
Yeah.
There you go.
October 19th, Steve Cooper was next, then Gary O'Neill, then Russell Martin. Russell Martin. Question 4. Ryan Aït-Nouri plays international
Morocco.
football for what team? No, not Morocco.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, no.
Is he?
Ryan Aït-Nouri plays international football for what team?
Albania.
No,
No, he's just. Is he Egyptian?
no. All back in.
Algeria.
Algeria is the correct answer. Well done, Tomo. 2, 1, 0.
My lad's going to be fuming I got that wrong first time.
Yeah, that's a bad one, that.
Question 5. Who is the only English club Teddy Sheringham has managed?
Oh.
Kettering.
No.
No, Fleetwood.
No. Who is the only English club Teddy Sheringham has managed?
I don't know this. Who managed Kettering? Was it Gaza? Did Gaza go to Kettering?
5.
Well, Cambridge, was it?
No. All back in.
It's one of them, isn't it? Ebbsfleet.
No.
Is it National League? You're going to give a.
Leighton
No,
Orient.
no clue. No.
Just on Robbo.
Yep.
God, no idea.
5.
I'm just going to guess Doncaster.
No.
Millwall.
No.
Chesterfield.
No.
No, it was one of them, like League
The
Two.
answer is Stevenage.
Well, I wouldn't have got that.
Stevenage, yeah.
Oh, my
Was
gosh.
he player manager? Was he?
Maybe, yeah.
He must have been about 57 and was still absolutely class.
Baller, yeah.
There we go. Question 6, career path question.
Eddie Sheringham.
I have played for Chicago Fire Premier.
John Duran.
No. Chivas USA. Aston Villa. Hull City loan. Middlesbrough. Atalanta United.
Oh,
I have played for Chicago Fire Premier. Chivas USA.
Is it Chivas or Kivas?
don't know.
Aston Villa.
Oh, I can
Hull
see
City
him.
loan. Middlesbrough. Atalanta United.
El Mohammadi?
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I know him. I can see his face.
Yeah, I got
5,
God, his name.
4, 3, 2,
I can't remember his name.
1.
name.
All back in.
I can't remember.
5,
Oh, what's it called?
4, 3,
I can see him.
2.
Stocky, well-built lad.
1. The answer
No, it's someone different. You're thinking.
No.
Isn't it?
The
Go on.
answer is Brad Guzan.
Brad
Oh,
Guzan,
no.
goal,
Yeah, someone
Brad
completely
Guzan,
different.
Yeah. He's still playing now, by the way. He's 40.
Yeah,
Brad
Atlanta.
Guzan. Yep. Question 7. Which Argentine has made the most Premier League appearances in the history of the league?
What league? Premier League?
Yeah, Premier League. Which Argentine?
Sergio Aguero.
No, he's second.
Wow.
He's second with 275. Which Argentine has made the most Premier League appearances in the history of the league?
I'm going to... Oh.
5,
I would say
4, 3.
Veron.
No,
Heinzer.
no. All back in.
Oh. Zabaleta.
Zabaleta's the correct answer.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
303.
I hate you.
Because he went at West Ham and played as well.
Yeah.
It should be Aguero. The answer should
Sorry,
be
I'm
Aguero.
sorry.
Jamie, change your answer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you know
Yeah.
what the answer should have been? Excluding...
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta.
Yeah. Fabrico Colaccini, 211. And
Say that first name again.
no, Colaccini, 211. Tevez, 202.
Tevez.
Colaccini. People don't remember.
I remember old Fabrico.
Fabrico, the boy. Question 8. Scores are 2-2-0.
Look there, is this... Could I seal the league this week? Maybe.
Maybe. Depends if we do any in off-season.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Quiz extravaganza is going to be unbelievable, by the way. We've got rounds, we've
Yeah, as
got
long as
guests.
you don't write the question.
Apart from the first question.
I've heard Luke's back in.
Luke proved these questions, so...
That first question is a disgrace.
Question 8. Wayne Routledge played for 7 different Premier League clubs, but can you name one of the 2 clubs he's been on loan to?
Swansea.
No.
Crystal Palace.
No.
7 different clubs playing Routledge.
Yeah. Wayne Routledge played for 7 different Premier League clubs, but can you name one of the 2 clubs he's been on loan to in the Premier League?
I'm trying to think of... So it wasn't Swansea, it wasn't Palace.
5,
That's a big one, that, because I would have said... that
4, 3,
one.
2.
Blackpool.
No.
West Ham.
No.
Well, there. Are we all back in?
Yeah, you're all back in.
Oh, you didn't say that, so now I'm back in.
No, you're out. You're out. This is what Toes happened the other day.
I'm going to batter you in a bit.
No, I reckon Jamie would do you.
I'm just going to batter him.
Jamie,
Start.
Jamie would smoke you.
Wayne Routledge played for 7 different Premier League clubs, but can you name one of the 2 clubs he's been on loan to in the Premier
Think
League?
of any other teams that he's played for. Spurs?
No.
Can you give me a guess just to bring me back into
No,
it?
come on.
Just to make it like...
No,
Hey.
because you can win.
He's at the stage where he's begging
Yeah.
for clues.
Begging you for mercy.
How the mighty have fallen.
I think the answer's Aston Villa.
It's not Aston Villa.
No, it's not. It's
5.
Leeds.
No. The answer is Portsmouth or Fulham.
Portsmouth. I have Fulham in
Yeah.
my mind, but I
He
wasn't
went
sure
on
he
loan
played for
to
them.
QPR and Cardiff in the Championship.
Nice.
Cardiff, that was it.
Yeah. Question 9. You can still take it to a tiebreaker, Ben, so you're still in it.
Do not
okay?
want Robbo winning 2 in a row, you know.
Who is the highest Premier League goal scorer for Bolton?
Kevin Davis.
Kevin Davies is the correct answer, Tom. 68 goals.
Said Kevin.
Yeah, you were
got-
close, Robbo.
That's manufactured for him, that question.
Why?
Why?
Because you're a massive Kevin Davis fan.
He played with him,
Isn't he?
Not.
He always talks about Kevin Davis.
I do love Kevin Davis.
It's manufactured.
I
for
love
him.
Kevin Davis. He was a big, aggressive
Beast.
You played with him?
Yeah, I played with Kev, yeah.
Good bloke.
Oh, top man. Yeah, great guy.
Good player.
Yeah, great player. But just an even better lad.
Handsome.
So down to earth.
Handsome?
Good smooth, yeah.
Handsome.
Smooth dude.
Smooth dude. 68 goals?
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Question 10. Robbo, take it to a tiebreaker.
Are you on 0?
He's on
What's
0.
the forfeit for 0 these days?
Wolves shirt.
Wolf shirt next week.
What club did Newcastle sign Scott Parker from?
West Ham.
Chelsea.
Chelsea's the correct answer, Robbo, taking it to a tiebreaker.
Just can't do right for doing wrong.
Didn't even say no to you. Just
Well done. I wouldn't have thought that.
Right, taking it to a tiebreaker question. It's closest to.
Oh, oi.
But then the person who
We
says
like
it
these
first.
ones.
Oh,
Both
we'll do it
get
in our
answered.
heads.
Yeah, well, yeah, but last
Write
time.
it down.
Honesty
Just
is the
write
best
it down.
policy.
Write it
I
down.
got done on thingy last
You
week.
got done last week,
10
yeah.
mil for...
Yeah.
Right,
No,
you
no,
say
we
it
don't
and you
need to.
write it
It was
down.
you two
Or
last week.
Arteta.
We're honest.
I don't trust you.
Arteta.
Yeah. No, we don't need to write it down.
Just write it down.
Don't need to.
But I don't trust you.
Well, this week,
Because
Robbo.
you can just go
I'll
one
go
above
one
him.
Well, I'll say it first then.
I'll write him in
Because you
notes.
can just go one above
I'll
him.
say
exactly.
it. I'll say it
Write it in
first.
your notes.
Yeah, but then he can just say one above you
Well,
or
I
one
trust
below
him.
you.
I trust him.
Just write it down.
For God's sake.
Takes all of the... No, just one of you needs to write it down.
Yeah, fine. Whatever.
Well, I'll do it and then I'll show
that's
you.
fine.
go.
That is fine.
I trust Robbo for the record.
Yeah.
I don't.
Tiebreaker. How many different Premier League clubs have taken part in the Premier League since it started in 1992?
Oh, I like that question.
That is a good question.
Thanks, guys.
Nearest two as well, isn't
Good
it?
question.
Tried to redeem myself after the first
That's a
question.
very good question.
How many different clubs have taken part in the Premier League
No.
since it
No.
first started
How many
in
in
1992?
Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
Does that count?
Okay.
Can I throw a first guess out there?
No.
I'm not involved in it. I just like... I like to...
Wait until Robbo.
Yeah, wait until he's writing it down. That's why we write it down.
You don't get the right.
Ready?
Because you're
Can I go first?
0 today.
Waiting for Robbo to confirm.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go 47.
47,
Don't count. I've got 45.
45,
You saw mine, didn't you? 30.
30. The answer is 51. So, Tom takes the quiz this week. Well done, Tom.
Valiant effort.
Aussie.
Ben, thanks for
Well
taking
done,
part,
Well
mate.
done, lads.
Thanks for,
Appreciate it.
Very good.
Well done.
Thanks for
appreciate
taking
you.
part. Thanks,
Well
Joe.
done.
Great questions.
Yeah.
First question, brilliant.
Yeah, I just wanted to get in his head, that was all.
Well done, everybody.
That one, back camera. How many points did you have?
He got 0.
See you next week, everybody. Well done. Happy Easter Sunday, Monday,
Well done,
whatever it
Felix.
is.